I'm following what's his face? Is it the fighter who's trying to sneak around? But I'm sneaking around behind him.
Oh, yeah, Tovull. Yeah, sure.
Tovull, yeah, that's
Yep.
just because that's the sort of cat I am.
Okay.
Are you sneaking around after him for fun?
Yeah.
Because you're scared.
I mean, to be fair, I think Jar's latent perception probably would have picked him up straight off the bat. That's why I asked Tovull to roll a stealth check. So can I get you an 11? All right.
Yep.
So that's a fail to at least one of the party. But Jar, so you're sort of keeping your distance, keeping your eye on this red-haired, waifish-looking person who's in underclassmen robes, who's sort of crouching behind a bush looking at the rest of the party.
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Snesley? What are you doing at this point?
Snesley's sort of waking up quite lazily. I think he's just sort of he's he'd had a late night because he doesn't need to sleep really much.
Yeah.
And he would have just probably started to wander out and would have watched a monk friend start climbing things and just go, oh yeah, and just start casually walking up the side of the tower,
just
like literally hands free.
You just. Meanwhile, Thea's just watching, like she's stretching, she's doing her workout, she's getting like limbered up, ready for the day, and she sees you just defy the laws of physics and walk like horizontally up the side of a building.
Yeah.
Yep. And
From
you just
eyes
he's
carry
going
on.
up, he's just sort of doing the whole, flick, bit of flex.
Yeah, yeah.
Limber
Okay.
up.
Fantastic. So you guys are doing that. Snesley, you probably watch Thea do her routine for a little bit and then get bored and decide to come back down where you see Baz sitting on the steps.
Oh yeah. Just like...
Okay, so as you guys approach each other at the fountain of the center of the courtyard, which has become of the courtyard of the library, which has become your home over the past couple of years, especially got pretty intense. You had to rely on each other quite a bit in your field trials and that sort of thing. So you guys get on pretty well, I would say. You know each other quite well at this point. So there's slapping of the shoulders and general warm greetings all around. And as you guys are standing there chatting and warming up, sorry, I just have to find. Are you going to behave for me, or are you going to be a doink? What layer am I in? I'm in objects and tokens. Okay.
Do you know my pen? That's a question.
Kind of forever. Right, sorry. Whoa, you're massive. Okay. Okay. As you guys are chatting and sort of waking up and saying hello to everybody, a slim woman in a green cloak approaches you. And she waves you all over and she says, "Oh, good morning! Good morning, everybody. It's good to see everyone here so bright and early. I understand you are here to undertake one of your first commissions. Congratulations on your graduation, by the way. I'm Mistress Ennis. I'm one of the organizers of the initial outreach programs. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've heard great things about all of you. I watched some of your graduation proceedings. It was very enlightening. So, what's the plan for today? Or would you like me to take you over to the board?
Show us the board, Miss Board.
The name is Ennis, but I'll forgive you that one. As she leads you into the entrance to this hall over this way. Tovull, what are you doing as you see the party move on ahead of you?
Complete FOMO moment. Tovull is just going to be peering, going by the bushes on the side, trying to be as sneaky as possible, completely failing as he does, tripping over himself and just pressing his face against the glass, trying to listen and look into what's happening on the inside.
Okay. Okay. All right. I did not succeed in finding a map for this one, so this next bit is going to be Theatre of the Mind. Unless... Hold on. Can I do this in here? Sorry, one moment, please, team. I thought I had this, but apparently I didn't. Do I have the gallery? I do have the gallery. There it is. Okay.
Is it Tovull that's outside?
Yes,
Trying
Tovull's
to sneak
outside.
along. Okay.
Sorry, team. This is loading. I'll move you in just a moment. I did.
Do
have
I
a map
know
for you.
that if I, because I see him there, do I know if Innes
Ines?
would be upset if I asked him to come inside?
You don't know that for sure. You can always try.
Okay. I said, oh, we've just got a party member in training outside. Tovull, come inside. Stop lingering.
Oh, is he on his placement? Is he?
Yes,
Oh, I
yes
suppose
he is.
that's all right. As long as you get written permission from his tutor, I'm sure that'll be just fine.
Sure thing.
Like, what? You have to get written permission for this? This is not clear. Why is this happening?
Just for Tovull. We graduated already.
The reason
I
we
was
ask
just gonna
for
take 'em
written
to-
permission for underclassmen is because you have to take on responsibility for them. That's the reason.
I feel we're fairly responsible being...
At least one of us is.
Yeah, no, I definitely have the written permission slip somewhere. I just misplaced it. I don't have it on me currently, but I'll definitely
make
find it
make
for
a
you.
deception check.
Ooh, 10 total.
Okay, I'm gonna roll in a second, because I'm just adjusting something real quick. I'll do it in chat proper so you guys can see.
Ooh,
It's
pretty.
14. So unfortunately, she sees right through you. But she sort of narrows her eyes and she looks at you and she says, well, as long as you can produce it when you come back, that won't be an issue. You did get your tutors to sign off on it, correct?
We will definitely get
100%.
onto that. We will definitely get onto that.
Very well. And she starts to walk just a little bit further ahead. Sorry, I gotta move you guys into this map. Bears. Some brick. Sunny. Okay. You're so massive every time you load in there, lady. That's wild.
Oh God.
She's a big lady. All right, so
Wow.
Ines sort of like she eyeballs you a little bit, Tovull, but she understands exactly what you're doing. She's just decided she doesn't care as she moves forward and leads the rest of you guys through. Just you guys can see this map, right? Like you guys can see what's
Yep.
on it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
She leads you guys through the main hallway and up the central dais. To her desk at the top of the room, where she pulls out a sheaf of papers. Who would like to follow her up the hallway? I'm pretty sure you guys have control of your tokens here.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I might-
Somebody did that. Somebody
Okay, it's just reset everything for.
Yeah, it does.
That's great.
That's great.
Love your roll 20.
Yeah,
You're such a
Yeah.
wonderful tool.
I think that's
yeah.
look at it.
It's a good tool for people who haven't used anything but Roll20. Okay. Okay, now my page is having a meltdown. I'm really sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to get this rolling, but it just doesn't seem to
Right.
work for us right now. Alright, so I'm in objects and tokens. I just can't select anybody. Sorry, it's not even letting me select anyone's tokens to adjust anything at this point. So I'm just going to reload the page. I'm really, really sorry about this, guys. Hopefully this will not, if you guys can see on my stream, I'm trying to like move and select stuff, but all I'm getting is a blue box and nothing else is happening. So
It's all good. This is what the practice sessions are for, right?
yes,
Exactly.
yes, it
Yep,
is.
I'm just getting blue quizzes as well.
Yeah, it's a great tool. It's a great tool. Oh man, if only I could just get you guys set up on Foundry, would be sweet. Would be a way. So that's loading. It's loading. You guys in here?
Yeah.
Right. So if I go in here, objects and tokens. Is it control click or Q click?
Ooh.
Okay, here we go. Cancel. Okay, now we can select things. So you are Snesley. Save settings. You are Bazton.
Druid's not here.
You are Thea. You are Jar of Dice. You are Tovull.
Ooh.
Okay. Right. So that should all be working now. All right. Can I get a quick show of who can move their tokens? Because I should have assigned everything properly by now.
I cannot.
Nope.
can't do
I'm making blue squares.
Ooh, you're doing better than me. I'm making no squares.
I'm making blue squares.
Blue squares.
I'm moving the map up and down.
Mm.
Oh, blue squares. No, I can't select myself.
Ines is looking at all of us paralyzed, like,
Like,
perhaps now's the
like
wrong
what's
people."
going on? Okay. Thank you, Molly. I can see the work that you're doing in there. It's very good. If I go into map settings,
All hail Molly.
close. Sheet. Select, move, and view. So that just does that. Select, move. Some tokens. Okay, so for some, can you guys move your tokens in this like mode that I have ticked here?
Go see.
Or have all of you been put on the wrong layer? I might have put you on the wrong layer.
Ah,
Ah.
that could be it. Layer.
Objects and
Upon layer,
tokens.
upon layer.
Characters.
Can't
Layer,
layer
add in
without
your-
doing the
Bazton.
Sally Lee.
Yeah. Tovull. Jar.
There we go.
Ah.
All right, great. I'm glad we figured that out.
Good. Got to be on the right layer.
Yes, have to be on the right layer always.
I think Bazton might still be on the wrong line.
Yeah, no, you're on the right layer. I have to do this thing where I have to like set you and then update your default token and then save your settings again, so it should be fine the next time you load in.
Hey!
Okay. So
Hey,
yeah,
We're
The
just
thing-
running
the thing
around
is-
like
yeah.
crazy kids.
yeah, the thing I said before still stands. So she walks up to the like up through the main hall and up to her desk where she is standing now, where you guys can see up there, and she roots through her desk and pulls out a sheaf of thick, what appears to be parchment papers, and she starts to approach you guys, walking back towards you.
I push Tovull. Like how tall is Tovull?
He a big boy. He's not a small man. So
Cool. I get behind him because he's probably a little bit shy. Maybe doesn't want to like get in front. So I'm like getting behind him and just pushing him, like back of his knee. I'm 3 foot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you respond to this?
And like seeing this, like bloody Sneezy will just go back and just yeah.
Come on.
Why is it always the young ones? Come on, young fella. And
Oh, it's just his first time. She's a little intimidating.
and he'll push him, like he'll push him as well. And
I'm pushing.
Tovull is
I'm strong, but I'm
completely unprepared for this and just. And no, it's fine. I'm comfortable in corners. You know, there are advantages for sticking in corners.
You'll be fine. Just come on. You can
he'll
protect
be
me.
okay.
Okay.
Off we go.
Okay, fine.
Not that I really need protecting. Off we go.
Yeah. How tall is Tovull?
He's tall enough that Thea can't pick him up, but he's probably small enough that you could like lift him quite easily with one hand.
Yeah, like I think I've made him like Sneezy like 6'10".
Yeah, and Thea's only a halfling, so she's
I'm
not
like
she's
3
not a
foot.
big lady.
I'm only 3 foot because they wouldn't let me make her any smaller. I wanted to be
Right.
like a little halfling.
Yeah, very very small. And yeah,
Yeah, Tovull's roughly 5 foot-ish.
Oh yeah.
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 So yeah, too
Right in the
too tall for Thea to pick up, but tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah,
Awkward.
Ines takes her papers and she makes her way back to you. And she sort of looks at you all and says, "Now these ones, because you're up nice and early, you managed to get in first before I've even put these up on the board. We have a couple of different options for you. As you know, the school and the library both like to provide support and resources for the small towns and villages surrounding us because they take care of us too. And as you know, we also provide muscle, brains, and other resources for archaeological digs happening both up in the mountains and further down the Lacrimae. Now, today, we've got two very special, very, very special potentialities that you could take a look at. I know you're fresh graduates, so you must be absolutely champing at the bit to get something done and get your name out there, because as you know, the better you do on your first ones, the better your name becomes, and then you start to earn more of that good cling-clang in your pockets. Now, first and foremost is you're going to be providing a little bit of support for a group of archaeologists who are heading up to Mount Kustos. They have found some sort of a temple or something like that was uncovered in a recent snowstorm. There was an avalanche a little bit further up, and as the snow fell, this temple or barrow, or we're not quite sure what it is yet, the rest of the crew have yet to go up and properly explore it. You could go with them to provide a little muscle, or there have been some strange goings on in one of the smaller towns on the satellites of Ludus. It's a little bit further to the south, just at the entrance to the Blackwood Forest. We're not quite sure what's going on there. Apparently there's been a few strange going-ons and disappearances and that sort of thing, and the mayor would like us to get to the bottom of it, or at least provide some insight as to what's going on. So those are your two choices, and believe me, these are delicious, as they're both paying... she checks the notes on the parchment page in front of her. They're both paying 2,500 plus damages plus risk assessment, so approximately 3,500 gold pieces.
That's a lot of cling clang.
Yes, well, once you divide it all up and give us back, give the school back its percentage, it'll work out fairly nicely, I believe, at about 2,500, so 500 each.
Bad for
Did you
first time
say
out.
like damages?
Damages.
Oh well, this is just it's a form of insurance that we pay to those who put up the commissions, to just in case, for example, in the commission of defending a townsperson, you damage their property, or an artifact gets damaged upon return. It's just a form of insurance. And then, however, there are, depending on what's found upon your reporting back to us, hazard pay can also be discussed.
I mean, I thought you were paying us to damage things. Okay.
Well, it depends on. That's the thing. We expect you to be in contact with us if at least some point. We do have sending stones that you can take with us. They have 2 casts of message on it, so we expect you to be in touch at least twice on your commission. We'd much prefer you come home in one piece and be able for us to train you up and send you out again rather than not coming back at all. If it gets too much, you are able to run. That's what I'm trying to say.
Don't know if anyone else has a preference, but I've heard the view from the mountain is quite nice. Perhaps that will help make us choose one or the other.
I'm always up for looking at new temples or barrows or whatever it might be.
Innes nods and smiles at you.
I'm not sure if I've been on a mountain before, so yes, this sounds quite fun.
The mountains are not that great, but I've been there, but I will go again. It's where I grew up. I think that's where I grew up.
Yes, Master Vipus, that's your homeland, isn't it? Up in the mountains?
I do not remember this. I don't remember much from when I woke up.
Yes, my apologies. I'd forgotten. It's just given that you've got the very standout Goliath tattoos, I apologize. I made an assumption. That is my mistake. As you know, I don't often tend to deal with fresh graduates, but given events of late and staffing issues that we've been having, that's why I'm here. Ha 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 ha. She sort of like rubs her hands in the front of her robes and looks around awkwardly a little bit for a second before sort of tossing her hair back behind one ear and says, right, now, well, I just need your seals so I can sign this off for you and get it over to the quartermaster and get you some supplies and then send you on your way. How does that sound? Get up nice and early. Get into it. Ha ha.
Breakfast first, right?
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
It's the most important meal of the day.
And as she said seals,
And the most important.
Snesley's just going to look at some of the tattoos that don't actually match, the ones that don't quite match his Goliath. Go, these seals?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. The ones that you were given upon your graduation, they look like a long gold rectangle with a sigil of your own making at the end. So just out of character for a second. So the seals that she's talking about are similar to like royal wax seals. So you have each of you have one. It's they're given to you stock standard on a necklace. So it's a thing about maybe 6 inches long. It's a cube, maybe 1 inch by 1 inch, and at the end, so it's got your name inscribed down the side, so inscribed into the metal on the side, and it's got a sigil that you've chosen to represent yourself as a signature that you can press into ink or you can press it into wax to leave your seal upon it. It's sort of exactly. It's like one of those. So you've each been given one. That's one of the things that you get when you graduate, because these seals are kind of like your proof of identity, saying that you are who you say you are, and you need to mark things off that you're signing off and agreeing to with these seals. Does that make sense?
Just trying to figure out how I'm not very good with feet and inches and whatnot.
So
I'm little.
Okay, so maybe
big on me?
No, yours is yours is
Or do they make it the size?
No, they're all stock standard in size. So yours would be like, for you, maybe like 9 inches. So maybe 15 centimeters.
Okay, thanks. Okay, that's quite big.
And then like 2.5 centimeters.
Snesley is like teeny tiny.
For Snesley it's like teeny tiny, but for you it's like quite like unwieldy.
Oh, still the same.
Yeah, yeah, and it's made of like a very warm, mellow looking metal that looks almost like gold, but it's not as soft as gold.
My colour, so we're all good.
Yeah.
Listen, I think I tipped a tooth on that.
Careful, Snesley. Come on. You need that.
Put it somewhere safe.
If you want me to hold on to it, I've got spare room in my bag.
I've got spare room in my fanny pack.
Yes. I've brought a couple of them, just in case.
For my front fanny and my back fanny.
You never know. In case your front fanny is full, you might need to use the back one.
In a defense, that would be on the Simpsons.
If your front fanny is overflowing.
With the bees.
With bees.
Would be.
Oh no, hang on. Sorry, I should have said that.
Sorry.
What was
Or is it a bean pie?
Yeah,
Is it a bean pie?
No. Oh my god. Who said that? Because I'm giving you disadvantage on everything. I'm joking. That was excellent. Also, Dolly, hello. I
Yeah,
see you've dipped
Dolly's
into
in
the
there.
chat here.
Hey,
Hi, Dolly.
I was literally just typing in your group chat. I'm glad to see the Simpsons rules being enforced.
we're trying.
You missed a lot of goofums. Like
I
a lot
bet I
of goofum.
did.
Oh no, Dolly,
Don't
you don't
stop on my
understand.
account, like.
You don't understand. There was a lot of bees for a little bit
Oh,
there.
like- And your fatties, like.
In America, where
There's
the
still a
Simpsons
lot of
are,
bees, by the way, on that one map.
Yeah, there's still a lot of bees.
Sure.
there's still a lot of bees.
I
Still a
never
lot of bees.
removed them. They're still there.
All
Yeah,
bees.
excellent, Molly. Thank you. You're out here doing God's work. By the stars. Molly, everybody. Okay, so so Enos is sort of like she's preparing, she goes back to her desk and she takes what looks to be like a black a sort of black tallow candle of some sort. Like it looks like it's quite long and the end has quite clearly been melted. And she casts like she flicks her finger like this and a small jet of bright red fire comes out of the tip of her index finger as she holds this tallow candle over a golden dish that's about the size of like 2 cupped hands, like this, on the desk in front of her, melting the wax into it. Would anybody like to make an Arcana check here?
Definitely not Baz.
I mean,
Do we have no magic people?
let's have for a laugh, sneeze.
I
a
mean,
bit.
it doesn't,
Druid
it doesn't matter too much. Like you guys can
No,
still
this
do
is
the
just
check.
for more. I know, but this is more for my knowledge as well.
All right. Okay. Yes. So, Jar, you know what this is because you've seen them used. You've seen them used in your practice before. You understand that this is a candle of sealing. That this is something that is used to basically inscribe contracts and make sure that they are adhered to. You know that from looking at it that this one is quite old, and you know from looking at it with a 16 that the style and age of this candle indicate that there may be a geas of some sort on it. But from what you can tell, it doesn't seem to be one that's like has extremely negative consequences straight off the bat. Like as far as you know, from what you know and your history, and you've seen these used before, you know that 9 times out of 10, because it's a contractual tool, it's a sealing tool, they have a geas of some sort on it, which means like if you break the terms of the contract, something will happen. As far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to be a dangerous, like it's not going to kill you outright, but there will be consequences if you break the bounds of the contract. And that's what you get with your Arcana check.
Can I ask her about that?
Yeah, of course you can. So as she's got her little ray of flame, create fire coming out of the tip of her finger, she's melting this into the dish. What do you want to ask?
What's the consequences of breaking this contract?
Oh yes, of course. Essentially, you're going to be stripped of your status. You're going to return to civilian until the and this is only in worst case scenario, of course, if something very terrible happens and you end up going against the tenets of the school, which are, we hope you won't, but if you do, there will be consequences. You'll be stripped of your rank. You'll be stripped of any tools that we may have given you on pending investigation. And if you are found guilty of any said crimes through said investigation, you will be punished, depending on the magnitude of your error. That's the long and short of it.
Sounds reasonable.
Oh, we like to think so.
What constitutes breaking the... Sorry, what constitutes... No, we're not doing a voice. What constitutes...
You can.
No,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
fine.
doing it.
Sorry, Danielle, I'm going to have to send you some helium just so you can stick to it.
I was about to say, Mickey Mouse is doing the chat.
Oh, well, and it's sort of like she blows it
Oh boy.
and blows out her finger, and she places the bowl of hot wax down. And she turns and looks at you and she says, "Oh, well, murder, treason, anything
Murder.
that goes against the laws of the land. Also,
Read murder.
but murder and treason is pretty much it.
Define murder.
Unlawful killing.
That still seems a little vague.
Define.
Well, the thing is, we don't like to put too fine a point on it because there's a lot of different contexts. Say, for example, this is why we do the investigation thing before we hang, draw, and quarter you. But to say, for example, we can tell that you murdered a townsperson out of malice with forethought, and you planned it, and it was deliberate killing for no reason outside of, so it was outside of self-defense or outside of the commission of what you're employed to do. That's murder. Just to put a broad strokes.
If you're ever in doubt, as long as they fire first, I think you can kill them legally because it's self-defense.
But what happens if I'm cleaning my sword and it just sort of accidentally goes through something?
That is
It does do that, I've noticed.
That is gross incompetence, and I'd be amazed that you'd even be able to get your graduation papers, Master Vipers.
I was just
asking. Now I'm
standing there and someone just walks into my fist because it's a good fist.
And what if I get a little hungry and there's no meat and I kind of have to bite something?
Ines is standing there rubbing her forehead.
You know I pack extra. You don't need to bite anyone. I have extra rations in my bag.
Wait, how often do we bite people? Is that a thing we do?
Nope, that's just something Snesley does.
Snesley just turns around and smiles and just
big shark teeth.
Yeah, I stand in the middle of both of them, make myself real big.
Look, just try not to hurt anyone. Try not to break anything, and try not to get yourselves killed. That's all we ask.
Oh, we can try. It's all we can do. Try our best.
We will do some, if not all, of those things.
We will try not to break these things. If they get broken, unfortunately, it is what happens.
Yes, okay. We do have a provision in the contract for collateral damage, hence why we pay the insurance premiums. I will get you all to mark your seal on this. I will also provide you a copy to go over at your convenience, if you would like to, before you head off to the quartermaster. But if you would like to get going before the day gets away on us, I would recommend you do this now.
We definitely need to get going because I need breakfast.
And Snesley will attempt to initiate the wrong end of his Hanko thing and just go.
Oh, yeah, it's the other side, Snesley.
Thank you for this.
Ines, she takes off her pince nez and she goes.
You've picked the right.
Snesley is not smart. Come on.
I just hope you're as good with a sword as you are bad with your seal, Master Vipers. That's all I can say.
I hold mine up and go, can one of you just give me a hand? Just, it's quite far and put them in the middle of the table.
Oh, yes, I've got you.
Either lift me or lift this.
Just pick her up from underneath the armpit so she can just go, eh.
Okay, with you lifting you, I'll help you up.
Cheers. Thanks. All right, we're good.
Okay, so just to clarify, we've got Snesley is signed. Thea has signed. Baz, have you signed?
Not yet. Baz will sign last. He's going to make sure everyone else signs first.
Okay. Jar, have you signed? Or will you sign?
Yep.
Okay. Tovull?
Tovull does not have a seal.
You don't have a seal.
And so he just dirties his thumb and presses it against the contract, going, yeah, that's good.
Ina sort of looks at it and she looks back at you and she goes, that's actually not a bad idea. Maybe we should look at doing that instead. But yes, I want that permission slip off you, Tovull. As soon as, 100%. Please.
We'll definitely get it sorted.
She raises her eyebrows and looks over her pince nez at you like she knows you don't have it, but she's going to let you away with it because everybody in this room has been winding her up the entire time she's been with them.
Sneezy will find a bit of paper and just write and add about 3 S's.
And the S's are all backwards.
Yeah. for little shiny sneak shine boy. Just add a little finger that points to him on the sign hand.
And a smiley face and a love heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then yes, it's
Okay, fantastic.
Tovull.
And then yeah, I'll stamp my seal in last. And my seal literally, instead of having a cool signature,
Yeah.
it is Baz.
Yeah.
That's just-
Fantastic. So Ines takes these things off you and she rolls them up. She places them back on her desk and she's like, and she turns around to the rest of you and she says, right, well, now that's all taken care of. Get yourselves up to the quartermaster, get some breakfast, get your gear, and go away, please, with love and respect. Leave my office.
Yes. Ma'am. One, two.
Okay. So
Breakfast.
you guys are heading to this
Please will just
map
walk
here.
down on the wall. He's just showing off again.
I love how Sneeze's like idea of showing off is just walking up walls, like vertically.
And along sideways,
All right, yeah,
across
along
rooms.
sideways. All right, not to worry, Molly. We're gonna get things going fairly shortly. We're just gonna get them their supplies and get them their breakfast, and then get them out of the city. Okay, so sorry, I'm waiting for
Which
this.
could take 3 hours.
Hey,
Yeah,
only take us short time.
look, we were goofing. We were goofing. We were new game goofing.
There were a lot of bees to get through as well.
There were a lot of bees to get through.
It was networking and team bonding and all those good things.
Bee bonding. Sorry.
Bee bonding.
I was looking
I
for
mean,
a bunch,
and,
but I
you know,
couldn't find one.
And I had to jump in late. I had to wait because I was dead to end up jumping in late.
Yeah.
Well,
That's okay.
we
No worries, guys.
You had to get home. I mean, you haven't
Yeah.
long, and then you eat. Yeah. Speaking of
Yeah.
eating, Thea pulls out an apple as we go along, and she munches.
Awesome.
You know,
Heck yeah.
it's a pre-breakfast snack. You
If
gotta
anybody
keep your
need to use
strength
the
up.
bar, I've packed extra, just in case.
Too crunchy.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
It's not a fan of the texture of the old granola bar.
Sneezy will just find a little bit of this little cask. He's got a little bit of his mead for them. He just take a quick, quiet sip.
You need slow burning energy. This could be a long journey. I'm just saying. It's better to pack up now.
This is energy. This is energy for me.
All
I
right.
think he has different needs. Remember.
Yes, he is definitely gabled. Okay. Just to
And all
make-
this time, you've not even seen him breathe at once, and you're like,
Hang on a minute. Okay, just to be make sure everyone's got their tokens and stuff set. Taya's okay. Tovull's okay. Baz, are you okay? Baz is okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay is
Here
a
we are.
strong word.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
Sneeze
yep, everyone
is-
looks to be all right. So you guys managed to make your way out of the sort of keep in the center of Ludus, which is where the library is, and you guys managed to make your way out of the big shining golden gates and into the streets of the Bag End Market, which is a place that you guys have been pretty familiar with. You've been around here a couple of times before, but Tovull hasn't. So this is the first time you've been in this. Just for the theater of the mind purposes, imagine that this place is like it's full as, it's bustling. There's loads and loads of people around. The smells of like cooking bacon and fresh bread, and someone's making jam. There's wood smoke. You can hear the clang of a forge somewhere nearby. You can hear chatter. You can hear laughter. You can hear musicians a little bit further down the way. You can hear a flute playing. You can hear a jaunty drum. This is like the beating heart of Ludus that you guys are in right now, in the Bag End Market. So all around you there are food stalls. There are a couple of folk who wave you down or like give you like a friendly wave as you walk past. What would you guys like to do? Would you like to explore a little bit before you, because you guys know that the quartermaster is here as well. He is, it's the big tent / building looking thing over this way.
Can I talk to Tovull really quickly?
Yes, of course you can. Tell me what happens.
Tovull, I understand you haven't graduated yet, and we're heading out on a proper mission. If things get hairy, stay behind me.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think that should be too hard for me to do. Though I'm very good at blinking away, so yeah, I'll do that too.
Perfect. You are our responsibility now, and I would prefer you make it back in one piece.
The concept of actually dying has not really crossed my mind. I don't know what that is. None of my friends have ever done it before. I just keep hearing you mortals talk about it so often. It sounds like an interesting concept, to be honest.
None of your friends have died before? Sounds nice. Baz stares off into the distance.
Vietnam
Oh, I remember
flashbacks.
those days.
Snesley,
chopping
overhearing
noises.
this sort of situation, goes, dying is not the worst thing. At least I don't. I think I don't quite remember if I did I actually die? You look at jar of dice because it's.
Quite sure you made it there.
Was I dead?
Well,
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's all very confusing.
maybe one day we'll find out.
But hopefully, not today.
And
Now, has everybody got rations?
I've developed hunger. I'm not. This is kind of new for me. I don't think I've got anything on me at the moment. Sorry.
Well, I've got muesli bars, I've got fruit, I've got jerky. The thermos of coffee I packed is mostly gone.
Oh, I was mates with you for a reason. There's plenty of
sounds
stocks around
good.
here.
I also have a spare blanket in case anyone's cold. Let me know.
What's cold?
Oh dear.
that's a big question, kiddo.
Do we need to get you some supplies before we head to the cold mountain?
I guess so.
Sneezy will just look and go, and I did not think I was
Didn't
that bright.
think that through.
Why did hang on? Why did I write that thing for him? Oh, but
Actions
we
have
can ask when we get
consequences.
Oh, God. Better to ask for forgiveness than for permission.
Yeah. All right. So as you guys make your way through the market to the quartermaster station, you guys come across a very familiar breakfast cart. It's run by a very portly dwarven woman with very thick black hair and a luscious beard full of beautiful silver rings and little dots of lapis lazuli intertwined with her braids. And she sees you walk past Thea and she goes, "Thea, my darling, what are you doing out of school at this time of day? Don't tell me you're all done."
Oh yeah, totally done. We're off on adventures again.
Good to see you came to see old Mum Rosalie. What can I get for you, darling?
The usual, with a double helping of the potato thingy that I like on the side, and then we'll go with the mushrooms and a really big hot chocolate.
All right, no problem, darling. I'll get that together while the rest of your
What do you guys
party decide on what they want. And you see Rosalie turn her very broad back to this, like looking inside the cart. It shouldn't look like it should be able to fit, but it's this huge, like, cast iron, Ager style, like, wood oven. So it's this huge black wooden oven, and she's got pots bubbling and the cast iron frying pans, and she clicks her fingers a couple of times, and the fire demon that's trapped inside, Hell's Moving Castle, anybody, flares up underneath the frying pan, and the delicious smell of crackly, spitty bacon heating up in that pan starts to waft out from the flap at the front of the truck as she loads up a second pan with small, finely chopped potatoes and chorizo, and she sets up a pan of onions on the hob at the very back corner.
I'm hungry now.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. It's like, just breathing that smell is better than like 5 hours of meditating in the sunshine. Just food
All
is
right, so
great.
as Rosalie sort of potters around getting your big breakfast order ready, she first things first, she reaches over to the side and grabs a copper mug and pours a thick, dark, cinnamon scented like beverage of some sort into this mug and hands it over to you. And as you take a sip, it is this incredibly, it's almost thick enough to stand a spoon up in. It's this incredibly rich, decadent, cinnamon, vanilla scented hot chocolate with thick wads of foam across the top. And she says, you know where the marshmallows are, darling? They're on the counter just behind me. Help yourself.
And I do.
Yeah.
Quick energy?
Mm-hmm. So, what are the rest of you guys wanting in front of Rosalie's breakfast wagon?
Help yourself, guys.
Have you got any the blood sausage? I think it was last time.
Oh, yep, we got some Custis black pudding if you're wanting some of that, my good man.
Oh, almost, yes, most definitely. And that drink for my little friend here. And you point to Tovull.
And she sort of like looks over behind her shoulder and she says, half pint. Barris, can you come give me a hand, please? And as you see people who are looking in will see not a man, but like the top half of a man's head come across like the bench just behind Rosalie's ample behind. And you hear a grunt and a huff as a very portly gnome pulls himself up. He's completely bald on top with a puff of bright red hair that sticks out like a halo around his head, and beautiful big mutton chops, which again have little silver beads and bits of lapis lazuli braided into it down the bottom. And he says, "Right, half pint for the half pint, and a bit of blood sausage for the big man. Anything else I can get you as well? Rosalie's busy."
Can I get pancakes with Brussels sprouts?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Any protein for you there, my man?
No, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Any sauces? Any gravies? Any syrups of any sort?
No, just like that.
All right, Rosalie. 2 sets of griddles with Brussels. Anything else for you? As the gnome sort of turns around and looks at the rest of you.
I'm okay. I've packed extra for today. Thank you.
All right. Very good. All right, so Rosalie turns around and like gently moves her gnomish husband out of the way, and she places in front of you, Thea. It's kind of like a huge paper cone that's got a full English like tucked into it. It's like a massive souvlaki, but instead of having like the pita bread, it's like bits of really thick sourdough toast. The potatoes and onions are at the bottom, so all the lovely bacon grease and it's like hot drippings and sauces and everything from the top leach down inside. And she sticks a big fork in the top of it and hands it over to you, and she goes, "There you go, darling, Rosie's big breakfast, and we'll have them griddles up for you in a moment, and I think we've got some of that black sausage hanging at the back. Let me go take care of that for you, big man." And she toddles off to the back of the camper and brings out she sort of hangs up this big black J-shaped looking sausage. She turns around and looks at you, Snesley, and she goes, "Do you want that raw or cooked, my love?"
That'll be fine just as it is.
The whole thing or just a couple of slices?
I see whole thing.
Very good. And she hands it over. And as she's doing that, Barris is counting out how much it's going to cost. So the total of this breakfast for everybody is going to come to 15 silver pieces. So whoever's got money.
I know I've got a little bit, but I'm not sure what it actually is.
Jesus, I haven't got any. Oh dear.
I think you guys start off with a stipend of 20 gold each. And a gold is 10 silver.
I guess I'll add some gold to my thing then.
Yeah, I'm just sort of starting everybody off with 20 gold as kind of like your student allowance kind of thing.
Seeing everybody trying to find their money, Baz opens his fanny pack and pulls out the 15 silver and puts it down. I think that's right.
Oh, I'll get because I'm like trying to like manhandle this giant cone of food that I've already got my face into, and the jug of whatever else, and I'm just trying to like get it and get it into my pocket.
Yeah.
And
it's not happening for you today, darling. It's not happening for you today.
I've got this one.
I'm dexterous. It's the only reason I'm like not dropping it all. But I'll catch you on the next one, Baz.
Yeah. Barris takes the money from you, and he gives you a very solemn nod as you hand it over, and he says, "Thank you, my man. Thank you. I hope to see you again. Good luck on your adventures." As Rosie hands over, it's a paper cone with 2 pancakes with the buttery Brussels sprouts in the middle to give to Jar of Dice. So you guys have your street food, and you are now basically free to go over to the quartermaster station if you'd like to.
And Sneezy will just look at Tovull initially and say, and how is it? Is it drink? It is warm?
It's warming. It's warm to the mouth, but it's warming to the heart. I've never experienced anything like this before.
Also, Tovull, you have a Stalin-esque moustache of chocolatey foam at this point. And it's like...
Sneezy's not saying anything. Sneezy thinks it looks good on him.
Fantastic. All right, so you guys head down to the quartermaster.
We'll show you the world.
Yes, just down this way, guys, if you want to move your V tokens.
Could we take the long way, even though I know it's in theory just down there. But just say we've gone the long way and we've shown Tovull around town a little bit. If this is his
Yeah,
first
of course you
time
can. We won't roleplay the whole thing out. But
No,
what
no.
would you
We
like
did.
to show him in particular in this area that you can see, or are you just sort of like pointing out to him like the good greengrocer who does the best apples, or like you should avoid him on Thursdays especially because he goes gambling on Wednesdays, and if he loses, he's a real bear in the morning kind of situation.
Yeah, and where to get the really soft toilet paper and just all the little things that we've learned over our years here.
And
Yeah.
Snesley will
Only a
point
year
out
under
where
us,
the-
but yeah.
Yeah, and Snesley will point out where you get the best. Oh look, this is the best. Yeah, he sharpens things. The sharpest of knives come from this man, and the best axes are actually over at this one over here. Anything you need to stab and to poke into people and sort of move around the innards. These guys are the best.
You need that sort of thing. And she holds up a fist because I've finished my food already.
Yeah. So Jar, because you're a man with a mission, Jar, you were the first to arrive at the quartermasters, and again, it's you walk in, and as you walk in the door, a little bell goes off, and a very tall, very willowy elf comes out to greet you. They are dressed in a sort of grey tunic and smock with a like an apron down the front. They've got long white hair that's sort of tucked around in a very elegant chignon knot, just sitting there behind their ears. They've got like hoop earrings, and they're wearing a pair of like glasses that make their otherwise ethereally beautiful face look very, very owlish as they sort of peek their head out, and they say, "Oh, hello. Just a moment, please. I'm just busy putting some things away. I'll be with you in just a second."
No problem.
All right, and as you're standing there waiting, the rest of your party arrive. Tovull, have you cleaned your milk moustache off yet, or is it still there?
Does he know it's there?
I don't think he knows it's there.
I haven't told him.
Has anyone told him it's
I
there?
haven't told. No, I didn't see.
Oh, his
Sneezing.
internet. It looks like his internet's gone again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
No, it's still there.
Okay, fantastic.
Hot chocolate
We will,
straight
yeah, we will carry on. So Tovull is basically just
I'm gonna have to go soon too.
Yeah, that's okay. We're nearly there. So you guys head through the quartermaster. The quartermaster is an elf called Theris. That's Theras, Theris, and they provide you with your magic items and your gear. Essentially, anytime you guys need to get your hands on something, the quartermaster is the place to go. First and foremost, they're going to provide you with your mountaineering gear. They're going to provide you with like your weapons, health potions, supplies, all that sort of stuff. If you want anything like that, you go and see the quartermaster. This is just sort of establishing where they are in the town and all that sort of stuff. So, in the interest of time and saving time and actually making sure that we get to experience some of Molly's genius, we are going to not roleplay that out. However, after this, it's probably maybe like 11:30, around like it's 11:30 in the morning, so like late morning at this point once you guys are finally all kitted up and ready to go, and you guys head out the front gate to north. You guys start heading towards the mountains. You guys managed to make your way through the small satellite village. I don't have a map for this, so apologies if they're in mine. You guys managed to make your way out of the city and through the small satellite villages and sort of sideways or side road inns and that sort of thing that have popped up around the edges of Ludus. And you guys are traveling for, like, by the time you guys start to call it for camp, it's probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, because it's kind of like a warm spring day. The sun seems to hang around, doesn't want to say goodbye at this point. But as the sun starts to go down, you guys make camp. And Molly, I will let you take the reins from here, sweet, if you want.
First of all, I'll start off by asking, what's everybody's passive perception?
Mine's 12.
Great question.
Thea is 12.
13.
All right. Just before we get going, Molly, you know how to activate the maps and everything for them?
Hold on. I just dragged the player thing over to the different maps, right?
Yes. But then, yeah. So which one are you going to?
That
Okay,
one. Does
sweet.
that shift everybody?
Yeah, well, it
shifts our vision, but I don't think it shifts the player characters. So we got to put them in as well.
Yeah, not quite sure how to do that.
That's okay. I can take care of it.
Drag and drop him out of the compendium, I believe.
Up on the hill.
Sorry, did I hear anybody say over 15 in passive perception?
Baz only has a 14.
Okay.
Right.
Snesley is 10. Snesley's 10.
Molly, just quickly, long press left click on the map where you want me to put the players. Yeah, okay.
Just. Why is this not staying?
And Tovull, you're back. Awesome. Okay, so you guys managed to, you've been traveling for most of the night. You're pretty knackered at this point, and you come across like you've walked up beside a stream for a little while, and you've tried to find a nice little clearing to set yourselves up in to get some rest before you start to head on. Who wants to pitch the tent? Who wants to put up the fire? And who wants to take first watch?
Take first watch.
Okay.
Go.
Baz is for sure putting up the tents.
Snesley's going to set the fire.
Fantastic.
Anybody with a passive perception above 12 will notice it. Normally, in a forest, you expect a certain amount of ambient noise, sort of whether it's crickets or rustling or various animals in the background. That is currently not the case. The forest is dead silent. And so I think Jar. Sorry, is your Jar was the one with above 15?
Yep, 16.
There's a sort of a very faint, ragged breathing, just sort of in the background. You're probably a little bit, probably halfway set up your camp, where an old woman of about, like an old human woman, probably about sort of 90, from the looks of it, stumbles out of the clearing, sort of. One hand is caked in mud, and the other one has this long stick of charcoal. She immediately locks eyes with the nearest person and snarls, as, You're not supposed to be here. Not now.
Perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. Greetings, I'm Bazton Brick. These are my friends. We are simply traversing through these woods. I'm sorry if we've bothered you, ma'am.
No. No, you have to leave. You have to leave. You can't be here.
I give a sidelong glance at Bez.
This may turn into fisticuffs. Your favorite.
And Sneezy will just be like, why do we have to move? We've just emergency camp. And I am, as much as I can be tired, I am tired. And I don't want to leave. It is nice.
Perhaps you could join us. We have, I have spare food. If there is something concerning you, we may discuss it.
She starts splashing across the little stream. You notice she's being very careful where she steps in the water. She stumbles on land, and who's closest? Is it still Baxton? Grabs you by the collar and says, "You leave, or it's over."
Okay, places, people. Seems we're under attack.
And you see there's sort of wisps of magic showing up behind their eyes.
It's always the justice.
Ground. Sorry. The ground shakes a little bit, and everybody everybody actually, will notice there's a set of five little gems up near the top of the map. I set this up previously. I'm going to switch over the map. I hope we can keep the characters in the same position. I'm not sure if that's possible. To switch over.
I'm gonna go to bed in a minute. It's gonna be nightmares. Ugh.
Oh, I love that weird thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, how do I? Could we, Ishbel, could we? Yeah, just move the characters over to the same location. You see these 5 gems sort of appear. They're very small, but they're hidden away in various areas. They start to glow and coalesce around the little grey figure that you can see near the top of the map. While this happens, everybody gets sort of the ragged breathing gets louder and louder, and this thing, which is a Balhanoth, erupts from the ground above you as 2 Chul skitter out of the water from hidden caves within the stream. I will get everybody to roll initiative.
The map's disappeared for me.
Oh, the map's
Yeah,
disappeared.
same.
Fog of war. Yeah, the maps
Uh,
are
I'm not sure how to fix that.
I'm gonna roll initiative. We can do it through D&D Beyond, can't we?
Sorry, did you say? I'm not sure what to do about the map disappearing.
I think, at a guess, it's something to do with the line of sight. Oh, map's back.
Oh, map's back. Excellent. All right.
maps.
Okay. Initiative. I should click this. Hey, that's a 1 on my initiative. Let's go.
How the heck do you roll initiative on, like,
Oh yeah.
I'm doing it through D&D Beyond, not D20. Around 27, no idea how to do it.
Roll.
Sorry,
So
sure.
on D20, you can just click it on your character sheet, and it'll roll.
Yeah,
How do you-
we're on roll
I know
20.
you
I
can
don't
set
know
up
where
an
my
initiative
character sheet is on
tracker.
roll 20. So.
So it's a D20.
but I'm not sure how.
Oh, it's not bad.
Also, who put a slot in here?
Hmm?
That's evil.
Um, yeah, sorry. I'm not entirely sure how to set up the initiative tracker on D&D.
I've just realised I've been muted this entire time because I'm an
Oh.
idiot.
Use F5.
Sorry, the map went dark because I turned on dynamic lighting so I could make the gems glow, but that I guess kind of fucked everyone over. All right, so Tovull 15. I will just send you a DM.
Okay.
But there is a way to set it up in Roll20, right?
Yeah, I know there is. I just don't know how to do it.
Okay, well,
What is it you're trying
Um,
to set up in Roll20?
an
initiative
initiative
tracker.
tracker.
That's what my job is. Hang on.
I got one earphone, so I'm not too loud for my
How the hell do I
floor
find
mates.
character sheet?
I don't think Mark has given me DM privileges in all of the games yet.
That's okay. Do you want to
So-
walk us through how to do it?
Yes, I will. Let me just jump into a game that I have. Have that in. Nope, it's not that one.
Okay. I will say, I wasn't planning for it to be like this late. I do have an assignment due in an hour, so if we could,
Yeah. If you
I
like,
should be alright. But just
if you like, we can just call
probably
it
might
here
not
at
finish
rolling
first.
initiative, and then just pick it
Okay.
up when we start next
Yeah,
time.
that would be appreciated.
Yeah,
'cause,
let's do that. Let's do that because Danielle also has to go to
Sorry.
bed.
Yeah, don't mind. Yeah, the husband person's gonna be knocking on the door in a minute.
Other than that, well done, everybody. We made it through our first semi-session, and only a little bit of goofing up has happened.
And probably just